guys, welcome back to my channel, TMNJ. My name is Sir Ross Johnson, sorry I'm reading something. And this video is on dreaming, astral traveling, and astral projection, differentiation between all three. Oh, sheesh. Give me a second. Water is the best thing to ever exist on this world. That's what I'll say real quick. Hey boy. So what I was going to say, don't mind my dog, he's like, I smell food. With dreaming, astral traveling, and astral projection, I start off with dreaming, and when you're dreaming, you have so much control over your dreams. You have so much control. It's insane. Or you're able to have a lot of control. It's more so the thing to say. You can control what you see. You can control what you hear. You can control a lot of things. You can make things bigger, smaller. Oh, that was bigger, small. I did the opposite with that. I love that. You can do a lot actually when you're dreaming. But the thing I noticed from my own observations was that when you're dreaming, because I came across someone on TikTok who differed from my experiences, or from my experience as well as other people's experiences, is that they're able to manipulate their dream in a way that they can switch from third perspective to first person perspective, apparently, which I found that kind of interesting to comprehend because I'd never met anyone who could do that before. So I was like, interesting. But give me a second, boy. When it comes down to things, though, when it comes down to dreaming, there's a lot of things that happen. Your subconscious speaks to you a lot when you're dreaming. So that's the huge differentiation. Your subconscious speaks to you in your dreams. It sends you messages, through imagery of whatever sort. The messages it sends to you are unique to your being and to your being only. That's something to also take into mind. So sometimes the imagery you see is more so metaphorical. So don't take the image. So at times, when it comes down to reading things or just seeing things in general speaking, we take things very literally. But the way things truly happen at times, especially with your subconscious, is it speaks to us in a metaphorical way that only we can decipher. Or rather, we can decipher personally the full message of what's being said to us. Other people can do it too, which is why people do dream interpretation. But only you'll get the fullty of more so at times than when someone else is trying to do a dream interpretation for you and so on. Because you only know the full message which the subconscious is trying to say to you. And so on. Now, understand astral beings can, speak to you when you're dreaming. Deities can speak to you, astral beings, extraterrestrials, past spirits of whatever variation, negative entities, positive entities. Any and all beings can get into your dream while you're dreaming and interrupt you and so on, speak to you, coerce with you. Even succubus or incubuses can interact with you while you're dreaming. And if you guys do not know, a succubus is a female demon, if I'm not correct, a female sexual demonic entity, and an incubus is a male demonic entity. Well, male sexual demonic entity is more so the thing to say. So yes, when dreaming, it can be incredibly dangerous at times, actually, because some beings, when you are very at your lowest state of being, they can basically interfere with your dreams and make you go through nightmares, quote unquote. Now, the reason why I quote that is only because the nightmares they make you go through are usually like, hey, to toy with you, to torture you, to torment you, and so on, because your fear brings them joy. So understand that when you're dreaming and say you're going through a nightmare at times it's a negative being that's, screwing with you because it knows it can. And at times we do, especially when we're children, we don't know we have the power to overcome such blasphemy. So it takes us time to comprehend, oh wait, we have the power to make things different and so on. Just when you're dreaming, you have a lot of control, or at times when you don't know how powerful you are in general speaking, you don't have that much control and you just watch things happen. Now, in dreams, you can go through first person perspective and third person perspective. Again, as I said before, someone I met could jump between both at her own will, which I never witnessed before with anyone or observed with anyone before, not even myself. Now, first person perspective is, of course, me looking at this camera and so on. This first person perspective. That person perspective is me, say, jumping to, say, this water bottle and looking, and say this water bottle is right here, me looking at the camera through the third person perspective. So simply watching myself speak, but watching everything happen in a way that's, well, I don't think I need to explain that part. But yes, third person perspective, first person perspective. Third person perspective, of course, is spectating mode, where you're witnessing things happening, you have no control, and you're just watching everything happen from the sidelines. First person perspective is you're actually in the thing, or rather that you're witnessing things, but you're actually able to do things as well. Now, when it comes down to astral traveling is very much so different. Now, again, everyone's expertise of being able to go out of body is always different. Interesting fact, when you're dreaming, you're actually able to leave your body. If I hadn't said that before, so do comprehend that one. Now, when it comes down to astral traveling, understand that in truth, you can jump from first person perspective to third person perspective at your own will, simply put, more so effectively. You can teleport wherever you want to teleport to. So if you choose to, say, go to Paris, you can just go to Paris. It's consciously speaking. Astral traveling is your consciousness moving from place to place, teleporting from place to place, more so to say. But the differentiation between astral traveling and dreaming is, simply put, astral traveling, the imagery you see is like, think about it like a movie skipping. It's like skipping, say the movie's an hour long, you skip from 10 minutes to 15 minutes to 25 minutes to 30 minutes. That's what astral traveling feels like. You're skipping around all over the place. Dreaming is just one pure stream, simply put. Scenery may change, but it's still one pure stream, more times than less. Literally. Astral traveling is, you'll see imagery of someone talking, then you'll see imagery of something else happening. It's like different things happening at the same time, so on and so on. And it's just skipping back and forth. Like at times you'll see black, and then you'll see imagery, and yeah, it can be all over the place at times. Actually, that's the difference between astral traveling and dreaming. Astral traveling is more, of course, teleportation, but you can't control a single thing. You can teleport to different places, yes, but you can't control a single thing. Your emotions are more dimmed down. When in dreams, your emotions are more elevated. So basically, if you say, the thing that people don't comprehend at times is that in our reality, right, at times your emotions are just natural. When you get into the dreaming state, though, if you get angry in reality, you're angry, right? And you can feel your anger. But when you're dreaming, you can feel yourself fuming. You can feel the energy radiating off of you. You can just feel it. You can feel like you're about to rip someone's head off. You really heavily feel it. It's so there. Now, with astral traveling, which goes towards the astral plane, with astral traveling and astral projection, they both go hand in hand with this one, because your emotions are incredibly dimmed when you're out of body. When you leave your body, your emotions are incredibly dimmed. They're not as high as they usually would be. Only because, again, if they're high, then you will go back to your body, and so on. A lot of people who've left their body will say the same thing. Their emotions are usually dimmed down, they're not elevated at all, and so on. Now, Rex, are you trying to go out or something? Hold on a second. Oosh. But yeah, so when it comes down to things, what do you want, boy? When it comes down to astral traveling, now, You're not. We're not going downstairs. You want to go outside? Go on. There you go. All right. My apologies. He was like, I want to go out. He doesn't need to bark. Some dogs need to bark. I can speak to my dog telepathically, so it makes things easier. um, or rather, I speak and then I listen to his answer through his mind telepathically. Just hearing the energy, rather feeling out the energy and being able to translate what he's saying. Um, but basically, yes, with astral traveling, when it comes down to things, your emotions are incredibly dimmed, and you're not able. You can think, you can imagine things, which is possible. Um, you can. I like how I'm thinking about this really hard, and as a person who does and teaches astral traveling too. That goes to show you how long I haven't done it. It's like that in a long time. Usually I do it through dreams. But well, usually I do it when I'm in sleep state. Is the better way to say it. Um, but yes, you can think, you can imagine things, you can feel, but you don't really feel much, really. You just witness things occurring. You can go from first person, you can go into the perspective of any living thing, of anything around you. So you can go into the perspective of your wall. You can go into the perspective of the plants. I've been in the perspective of a tree before. Um, just their personal perspective, of course. But the thing about it is, you're more so witnessing things happening. You can think of you. It's, at times, an example is it's like experience I put on my channel before of when I was witnessing my other version of me, different version of me, masturbating to OnlyFans apparently, and in my mind I was thinking, the other version of me was thinking, do I do this? And I was just thinking like, what are you doing? Why is this happening? What's going on? You've no control over what the other being is doing. There'd be different version of you, whether it be uh different life force in general speaking, so a different creature in general. You have no control over anything that's happening. You just have to witness it and watch it and comprehend what's going on all around you and so on. Or rather going on all around it being that you're witnessing things from and so on, from your first person perspective and so on. Yes, you don't have control over a single thing, honestly. You just watch it happen and you just see the imagery unfold. And yeah, it's like watching a movie in a sense, but you're part of the movie. Honestly, you can feel the person's emotions, the being's emotions more so, highly in depth. You can feel heavily what they're feeling. You can feel what they're thinking. You can feel every single thing. It's actually pretty interesting, but kind of odd and really perplexing psychologically. um, because you can become more so afraid if you forget that you're, and rather not if you forget, more so if you do not know what happened during astral traveling, that you can't die when you're looking at a different version of you, or rather when you're in the perspective of a different version of you. If you comprehend that you can't, sorry, I'm like looking at a vulture. So I love birds, I love animals, so beautiful. um, if you're looking at, say, it was okay. So for example, it was a time when I was in one parallel world, and I thought I was going to die because a different version of me was watching some dude with a handgun, an old-looking pistol actually. He said, "Shh, I'm going to tell you I'm going to explain my evil plan to you." He said something like that. And I thought I was going to die, so I came back to my body and went through sleep paralysis and so on. Or rather, I was more conscious of sleep paralysis because when we're sleeping, we're automatically going through sleep paralysis automatically. Um, when we're going through astral projection and going through astral traveling at times, most of astral projection, you become more aware that you're going through sleep paralysis and so on. You're aware that your mind is active, but your body is shutting down. Literally. Um, But what happened was I came back to my body, and then it took a few more experiences for me to comprehend that, hey, when one goes through sleep paralysis, or rather, when one goes through an experience of you think you're going to die in the astral plane, you don't die. The other version of you may die, but you will just witness that person dying, and you'll come back to your body if you choose to. Or you can continue to go through the experience if you want to, and so on. That's what I did. So understanding that death isn't, understanding that if a different version of you dies and you witness that version of you dying, whether you be in their perspective or first person perspective, you're perfectly fine either way. Simply put, you'll be feeling what they're feeling to a certain degree, but you're perfectly fine either way. You won't be. The experience I had was I witnessed a different version of me getting his throat slit. I didn't feel it really. It kind of felt like a butter knife in a sense, like slicing a sandwich in two, kind of. It didn't feel like a huge sensation of just death. I mean, for me, my perspective, it didn't feel like that. For him, I guess it felt like a lot more tragic. But I didn't feel much, and I kind of, I braced myself, and I was like, I wonder what happens when he dies. And what happened was nothing bad occurred to me. I just wanted someone else's perspective and was seeing things from. I wanted the third person perspective, and then wanted the first person perspective of someone else. Literally. Hopefully, you guys understood that entire thing, because I feel like my mouth was kind of closed as I spoke. But yeah, I was able to comprehend that. Oh, there's nothing to fear at all. Honestly, only if you're to, when you come down to out of body, take out the perspective of fear in order to enjoy yourself. That's what I always say. Or that's what I've been starting to say now. If you want to enjoy yourself, take out the concept of fear and just be. Honestly, you never know what will happen until it happens, and that's just an experience for you to understand. Simply. Now, with um, astral projection is interesting. I've done it a few times, so I'm not really a master to speak on it to such a high degree. But from my own experiences of astral projection, um, it feels as some mates have said before, it feels more so like reality compared to this reality. It feels more real than this reality that we currently live in. It's interesting. Um, but then again, everyone's reality is different, so I can't really speak for everyone, right? But in general speaking, no, it feels. Hello, Eric.
Mom's here, I'm looking at it now.
Oh, interesting.
Oh, that's how I know.
Oh, she is here. All right.
Yeah, Ross, guess what, bro?
Can't speak. Doing a video at the moment. Doing a video at the moment. It's all good. You can speak to me after. Oh, sorry about that. Well, there's nothing to really apologize about. Alright. Taking it to my room. Alright, guys. Oh, wait, I forgot. I was gonna show you guys lawns in the, around my house. It's so beautiful, right? Things are a mess up kind of right now, but they're so beautiful. Just wanted to do that real quick. Alright, let us get back to my room, which I didn't want to be in at the moment. Not gonna lie. Okay. Ooh, give me one moment. I kind of knew that I'd be interrupted intuitively, but I was like, nah, let me just see what happens. Alright. So let me place this right. If I can do this without any sort of issues, or like I'm trying to use my cam holder. Alright, there we go. Oh wait, hold on a second. Ooh. Alright. I guess that's better. Maybe, kinda sorta. But anywho. When it comes down to astral projection, as I said, at times it feels more real than the reality we currently live in. And that's the honest truth. When I astral projected a few times, the one time I remember incredibly, which I was trying to do different meditation in general, honestly, Um, it felt real, but different. I actually went to my bathroom, and I was just like, I had my feet up and all, and I just, it felt more real. The colors of my bathroom were more elevated, definitely more elevated. Um, by elevated, I mean they were brighter. They're kind of more I won't say translucent, just it's like a brighter sort of sensation is the best way to term it. Yeah, brighter sort of sensation. It was incredibly interesting. Um, you're able to control so much. You're so like you can manipulate so many different things. Like when it's like dreaming, except different because you're around so many different beings when you're in the astral plane. Um, you can fly like when you're dreaming. You can teleport like when you're dreaming. Um, the thing with astral projection though is if you look into a mirror, like in whether it be in your bathroom or anywhere in in your home, you can think about where you want to go, and you can just go there. Like I guess you can just walk through it and just go and just be in that place. So it's like intention is everything in the astral plane, honestly. Um, you don't have to do much to like some people would think you'd have to like if you want to protect yourself you'd have to like imagine a sword and maybe some like electric powers. No, you just envision it, you visualize it, you set the intention of okay in your mind of I'm a big ball of just burning white light. The other beings will just die when they other negative beings will die or want to evade or not be around me when I'm near them, and that'll happen. Simply put, like there's no need to like want to go to physicalities that we do on this when we do in our reality. No, things are more. It really feels surreal. Honestly, there's. It's hard to really describe the astral plane. It really is. Um, but yeah, um, a lot of beings will are around, of course. It's control, of course. Um, there's not really much to explain about the astral plane. Um, the differentiation is though when you're astral projecting, this is more difficult than it is to just dream or astral travel. Astral projection takes a lot of practice to do. Not all people can get it done. Not some people it just happens naturally towards, especially when you're younger. It happens naturally at times. When we're kids, we do leave our bodies a lot compared to when we're more older. Because when we're kids, we're more times we're more into our like into the fantasy concepts, the things that we're more in between realms when we're little children, honestly, um, compared to how we are when we're older. Because when we get older, we go through the imprintations of um, the influence of society, social media, our parents, and that kind of blocks out our elevation in our bodies and so on at times. Um, it's interesting. Let's see. Let's see. Is there anything else? I do not know. I'm thinking actually. I'm thinking very hard about it, and I don't think there's anything else. Um. Oh yes, in the astral plane, there are various different levels, different realms you can travel to. That's a big difference. You have control over a lot of things. You are in your ghost form when you're in your astral when you're in the astral plane. Rather your astral form is what we call it. You can call it you can say your ghost form to make it more for logical people to make it more understandable. But the astral form is what we usually call it. The astral form literally is like it's like your form, but there's no physicalities towards it. It's like being able to look through your own skin. Like this, like being able to look at your phone and like you're just putting your hand like above your face and like being able to like look through it. So very translucent. at times. You can make yourself look like anything, honestly. You can make yourself look like a skeleton, which is the same thing with dreaming. Dreaming, with the dreams, you can um, manipulate your own physical form. I've done that before in dreams where I made myself look like the one-eyed ghoul, rather the one-eyed king from Tokyo Ghoul, for protection purposes. um, and same with astral projection. When you're in the astral plane, you can make yourself look like anything if you choose to. It varies. Um, is there anything else? Um, you're able to do a lot when you leave when you're in the astral plane. You can do. Some people have learned Reiki. Some people have met other beings who gave them a great amount of information. There's a lot to achieve when you leave your body. In synopsis, there's a lot you can achieve. It changes your reality, changes the way you think about things in a very interesting way. The way you configure your own reality, the way you configure life, and so on. With that being said, sorry for the background noise, guys. I can't be helped with my. Give me a second.
I seen a lighter.
Can't be. Don't you have one?
Yes, Taras, I just want you light this. My lighter's in the car.
Get.
I'm not going back to the car because I gotta get ready to take Ivy to 1 second. I'll take Ivy to his friend's house.
Oh, so on there.
Dinner's here, so there's some rice and peas. I know you don't eat fish, but there's a bowl with some cabbage in it.
So on there. Arigato.
Had such a fun day today.
I will hear about it soon. Alright, sorry about that, guys. Well, that being said, I hope you guys have a lovely rest of your day, evening, afternoon, and journey. That has been my video on differentiation between dreaming, astral traveling, and astral projection. Oh, forget. You can, when you leave your body in the astral plane, astral projection wise, you can decide. I said you can decide where you want to go, but more so you can decide what your frequency is to be, in general speaking. So if your frequency is lower or higher, at times you can go to different realms based on your own frequency. So you can discover a lot actually in the astral plane. But different thing about it is just like astral traveling. If you get scared at all, you come back to your body. Literally, this is before. So you have to. So if you want to travel and discover the depth of the ocean, you can't be afraid. I've already met a few individuals who have tried going to the depths of the ocean in the astral plane, and they've all failed. I wanted to lie say they succeeded, but nah, they failed. Because it's just so dark. Apparently, everyone's saying it's so dark down there, then that you just like the fear creeps in. But apparently, from a YouTuber that I came across, there is, what crap? What was I gonna say? There are some incredible behemoth-like beasts, monsters, quote unquote, down there in the ocean, So that's something to comprehend now. So there's a lot that we haven't discovered, which is probably why the humans of our reality don't really want to go to traveling deeper into the ocean. Out of fear, right? Well, that being said, yes, this is the end of this video, and I'll be making another video quite soon. I'm trying to do 3 today, so yeah, because I have different ideas to share and some knowledge to give, and I'm like, my God, you're like, we'll see what you can do to us. We'll see how much energy you have to give and spare, and so on. So with that being said, bye bye.